I once again have questions you don't know.
I can come up with something. Concrete jungle.
A dingus.
Where dreams are made of.
Or erect. And
the children's are making so much noise. I know what you're asking yourself. But Tyler, what happens to the tree after Christmas is over?
Mulch. Not mulch?
Yeah, actually it's mulch. And you know the best time to plant a tree? It was yesterday. That was the best time to plant a tree.
What if it snowed yesterday?
Probably not. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. These
A little snug?
Yeah, the sweater I'm wearing today, Christmas sweater. It's ugly Christmas sweater. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got Bob Rouse on it. It's pretty awesome. Yeah.
It's cool.
Thing is I bought this a couple years ago and it's pretty tight and I'm feeling a little winded, honestly, because it's squeezing me. Feel like a tube of toothpaste right now.
Contracting.
There's a lot of compression happening in my chest area.
Just don't squeeze from the middle.
Don't squeeze from the, that's where I'm the bloatiest. just got goop hanging out right over here. I need to start hitting the gym after this. Dude, oh man, we're coming off Thanksgiving too, so that doesn't help. But
we're not done with eating season yet.
Oh, we're not done with eating season, guys.
We've got some eating season
We are
left.
in the thick of December right now, and it is happening.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's great. So Eddie, I was thinking kind of, we talked through some stuff with Dad on, movies and things like that. I forgot an honorable mention though. Home Alone.
Home Alone
2.
Okay.
The first one is okay. All right. The first one's fine. It's good and all those things. Home Alone 2 is just so unbelievable that it's amazing. It's the best of the Home Alones in my humble opinion. We rebuilt the Home Alone house because we got the Lego Home Alone house. Okay, so you didn't actually rebuild the entire Home Alone house.
Just the Lego version. We rebuilt it.
Okay.
And one of the little details, because Legos, they always hide something.
They're good like that. Yeah.
So the pictures on the wall, because there are a number of them, they've got the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
Obviously for the first one. Mm-hmm. But then they've got it's Trump Tower.
Oh yeah.
They've got so they've got a picture of that as kind of, homage to the second one. Totally creative. Really cool.
It's just the best. Like, was it Marv? Who's the big tall one?
Marv.
Yeah.
Mav.
Yeah. So he goes in and the part where he gets shocked and he goes skeletal.
My son
about pissed myself on that one, guys. I'm sorry. And there's no other way to put it. All right. That's hysterical.
Yeah. Nathan was tripping out of that one. Mm-hmm. That's one of his favorites.
Yeah. And then there's also Elf. I cannot believe Dad doesn't watch Elf, but actually, I can believe it. But that movie is amazing.
We didn't mention the Grinch.
We didn't mention the Grinch, did we?
Yeah. Which I'm not like a huge fan of the Grinch. Depending on which version.
I'm gonna move us away from that real quick because we can argue that is in fact a Christmas movie. Yeah, but Die Hard. Is that one a Christmas movie? Because in my opinion, I feel like it is.
It was the first one I named the other day when my wife asked me, "What Christmas movie would you like to watch with the family?" And I was like, Die Hard. Threw that out immediately just for effect. But I thought it was funny.
Well, a common theme throughout not every single one of those, but from Home Alone to Elf is Rockefeller Center.
Ah, yes. Nice little tie in there. Well done, brother.
Thanks, Lee, for that suggestion. Anyway, so we started asking, all right, Rockefeller Center, right? There's a big tree. Where does that big tree come from? Are there any things that we can learn from this big tree? Are there any things that we can pull from? And so Lee,
half our audience just dropped.
Yeah. Fantastic researcher extraordinaire, went down the mine shaft as he does.
Yeah, and he's good at it.
Deep into the mine shaft, into the dungeon, and dug out a bunch of cool information about the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree And I promise you, this is actually really interesting.
I was going to say, if you haven't left after the last comment,
this is okay.
This is very interesting.
This is fascinating. All right. So this is a big flipping tree. So the stats for this year's tree, it's from New York. It's 80 to 85 years old. It weighs about 12 tons and is about 80 feet tall and 43 feet wide. And the fun part, it was actually just in the side yard of a neighborhood, like just a residential side yard.
Do you have to submit a tree for like vetting? And
I don't know.
I wonder what that process is like.
Yeah, I do wonder. I was like, do you walk out one day and just look at the side yard and say, you know what, that tree,
that needs to be in Rockefeller Center.
That needs to be in Rock Center right there. Like that is a really nice Norway spruce that I've got in my side yard. And this is perfect for Rock Center. So it's interesting. Like they find these trees from all over. Like this can go anywhere from Ohio to Florida. Like they find them all over the US and they truck them in. Some of them have been brought in by barge. Some of them have been brought in by plane,
Wait, barge from where? Like overseas?
No, not from overseas. I would think that the highway system might not like that very much. So maybe they just put it on a barge and they go up the East Coast with it or something.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's fascinating. And like just getting stuff there. So like this is just kind of some hints of how cool this process is.
I love how I'm asking you questions that, you've got 5 seconds of Lee's research read in front of you.
And I'm an expert.
And I'm asking you as though you might know something.
I might know something.
Yeah. I need to let you stick to the script here.
I've got Lee's stuff in front of me. And if you get me off of that, I'm hosed. Okay.
Yeah. All right. I apologize for trying to lead you off of the trail.
God, my sweater's tight. Okay.
Is it warm in here?
It's guys, this sweater is not okay. If you watch the YouTube version, I am sorry. All right. I'm sorry. Oh Lord. I'm sorry, Bob. I'm sorry. Anyway, so
Bob's head looks a little bigger this year.
It does. He's stretched.
He's stretched a little.
He's a little bit more oblong. Yeah.
He looks like a football.
All right. So let's get into some of the background of the Rock Center Christmas tree. So it started up in 1931 at the height of the Great Depression. So workers at the Rock Center construction site, they pulled their money together and they ended up buying a Christmas tree just to kind of lift everybody's spirits because, hey, we're in the thick of the Great Depression here. Kind of need some spirits lifted.
Might as well buy a tree.
Better way than Christmas spirit. It's good old Christmas spirit. All right. So the first one was a 20-foot tall balsam fir. And they decorated with garland, strings, and cranberries, and various odds and ends,
nuts and fruits,
and such. Birds, sloths, Tyrannosauruses. Anyway, all right, sloths. So that annual tradition really took place or started to take hold in 1933. And they started up the lighting ceremony, which we see every year. And then later the ice rink was added onto it and it kind of became more of what it is today, right? So what's interesting in this, though, is that there's the selection process. It is guided by a guy named Eric. Hi, Eric. Eric Pause. He's the head gardener for Rock Center. So he takes, it takes up to like 5 months of planning and finding and all of this stuff. Like he is out there hitting the streets every day with one purpose. Find a freaking Christmas tree, all right? To bring Christmas joy to all the children. When he finds a tree, he goes in, he negotiates with the owner, says, hey, that's a really cool tree you got in your side yard. You mind if I take that off your hands? Yeah. And then deals with all of the transport and everything that goes into this. They put a big vinyl sign on the tree when it's transported. It says Rockefeller Christmas Tree. And so that's pretty sweet. But what's even cooler is like Eric, I think this is an interesting thing. He started up as a summer helper. So he didn't like just come in and like he's got his botany degree or
He'd
whatever.
run previous Christmas tree programs successfully.
Yes. You know, he worked his way up. You know, he started at the family level.
Started family tree lot.
Yeah.
Buying a couple hundred trees a year and just shipping them, just mundane trees.
And then he worked himself up to a level of where he was, you know, the lighting of a Christmas tree at a
call him a technician.
Call him a technician.
A light technician.
He would go into assisted living homes and various Holiday Inn lounges and light their Christmas trees for them. And then eventually he got to a place where he was able to light the Rockefeller Center one.
Yeah, he was like good at making it ceremonious and memorable. Eric, here's to you, my friend.
Here's to you, my friend. But that's not actually what he did. So he started as a summer helper at Rock Center. All right. And he just started working himself through the ranks there until he became the guy. He became the dude, the man.
I once again have questions you don't know.
What? I can come up with something.
Well, I wish you would, because I think it'd be more interesting to just make it up.
Of course.
Are the ranks?
Misinformation is our specialty.
Yeah. What are the ranks that you would go from and to get where Eric is?
So there's junior tree wrangler. All right. And then above that, there's just tree wrangler. And then above that is the fir man. Okay. You know, fir, F-I-R, fir, the fir man. He's focused on finding fir trees. Yeah. And then above that is the Grand Jingleheimer. And that is basically the highest level that you can achieve in finding a tree. Okay. Yeah, well, in tree lighting world, that is the highest.
The namesake of John Jacob
Jingleheimer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. It's a derivative of that. It was pulled down from generation to generation of Jingleheimer.
From the family Schmidt.
Born of the family Schmidt. Into now what we have today.
And he will, this is digressing close to levels
rapid rate
of our first podcast ever.
What's hilarious
which has only been aired to our mother, who immediately asked,
"What is this?
Are you putting that on the internet?" And we were like, "No, we're going to put that one on."
Our hope is that we confuse you enough that you don't know what's real and what's fake. Right?
That would be great.
Just layers of sarcasm here that you don't understand anything that's going on.
We may be remiss here because, I mean, we said Rockefeller Center, just throwing it out like everybody knows, man.
Like everybody knows this stuff, right?
First, where is this and how would we recognize it?
It's in New York City.
Okay. I feel like you wanted to call me
concrete jungle,
a dingus.
Where dreams are made of.
Or erect. And I want to also know, I thought we were doing some movie references just for context.
Well, we did do movie references at the beginning.
That's all you had?
Yeah, that's all I had. It was Home Alone. You don't need anything else. It's Home Alone. It's a standalone film, sir. It is not a movie. It is a film.
Interesting.
Yes. All right.
Okay. I feel like there was probably more movies that happened here.
Mr. Deeds.
Deeds?
Deeds? Thanks, Deeds. All right. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, so back to the facts here. All right. So after that, I'm not even going to call it a small digression. It was a rather large digression.
The alleged facts.
The alleged facts that you need to know about the Rockefeller Center tree. So the average tree is around 20,000 pounds to 40,000 pounds. It's a beefy boy.
It's healthy.
Beefy boy. And crane with a 142-foot boom is used to lift it into place. There's a lot of spectators, obviously, because this is just a joyous occasion. Yeah, it's just joyous. Then they light it up with 50,000 multicolored LEDs that you can see from space, partially powered by a nuclear reactor in Russia. I'm just kidding. No, it's solar panels on top of Rock Center. And there's over 5 miles of wire to get the tree all lit. And there's a 9-foot, 900-pound Swarovski star It's a big freaking star. Okay.
It's a large star.
It's a big star. And it's adorned
Death Star.
to the top of the top of the tree. And it's twinkly and stuff. And it's cool.
Who checks the lights every year? Is that Eric's job?
That's what I want to know.
Does he check every single light?
Somebody needs to check on Eric. It sounds like he's got a lot going on. Like, if you know him, you just make sure he's okay.
I'm just wondering, like, the storage process of all this stuff so that it doesn't come out in a large light ball, kind of like the Griswold family Christmas.
Just going bulb to bulb to bulb to bulb.
Yeah, little knot there.
Dude, do you imagine you get them all up on the tree, one goes out.
Yeah, and like the whole thing
and then the whole strand goes.
I got to think we're a little more high-tech than all that.
No, it's the same thing that's on our tree right here.
Got to be the exact same thing.
So I know what you're saying, though. I know what you're asking yourself. But Tyler, what happens to the tree after Christmas is over?
Mulch. Not mulch?
Yeah, actually, it's mulch. So that was what they did for a very, very long time. Is they mulched it up. They would use it on New York park paths, trails, and such, which is pretty cool. But more recently, the last 16 years, Rock Center has donated the lumber milled from the Rockefeller Center Christmas Tree to Habitat for Humanity. And it's used for flooring. So it's milled, dried in New Jersey. And that's, the lumber from 2011 and 2014 trees was used to build the framework of multiple homes in Philadelphia. So this is pretty cool. Like that they're repurposing everything. And, How
many 2x do you think that they get out of said tree?
Probably like 2, honestly. No.
Yeah, they're like sending like 12 2x4s.
You see that?
Upstate.
That's the Rockefeller Center house right there. That's
we
the
reused.
One. We reused. There's so much carbon emitted from driving the wood to the place. It would have been better off. Okay, anyway. My favorite part of this, though, in 2020, there was a very tired owl named Hootie. I'm coming up with that. I don't know what his name was.
Yeah, it wasn't named Hootie, but this is true. The owl part.
They unbundled it after a 3-day trip, and the bird was in there just like shook, man. Like, yo, I seen some stuff. What the heck just happened? Poor little owl just caught in there, and I love that so much. I love it so much. All right, so I'm sure you guys are all wondering, well, what's the moral here, Tyler? What's the story at the end of the day?
Why are we listening to this?
Why are we listening to this?
A show called Construction Brothers with you two imbeciles.
Dressed up in
stupid sweaters and a shirt because I didn't buy my sweater even though I was told to a month ago.
My sweater's too tight.
You didn't buy a sweater either.
As is evidenced by the fact that
you just
so
had backup.
I just really put on a few pounds over the last year or so. So
there's no moral.
There's no moral.
It's
just
moral.
A story, and we think it's cool. So
it's quasi building.
It's kind of building.
You said
more growing than building.
You said things really about lifting and scaffold. You said scaffold.
I said scaffold.
You said scaffold. That's a building term.
I wonder if it was oversaw by a competent person, that scaffolding.
Overseen.
Yeah. Oversaw.
Yeah.
Overlooked.
I would have to think so. In the middle of New York, I'm thinking the regulations for this sort of thing are fairly heightened.
Yeah.
And
indeed.
Something that you got to pay attention to.
Yeah, but no, seriously,
I wonder
guys.
if Eric's an OSHA expert.
He might be. I wonder if he's taken his OSHA 10.
Or 30. And also
you don't need 30 for this.
And guying and erection bracing and lifting lugs.
It's true. Yeah, lugs. Throw a lug in it.
Throw a lug in it.
Throw a lug in it. The reality of this is that we don't really have much of a takeaway from it. It's a really cool process. And it's something that, we were just it was just kind of fun to read through some of this stuff and see like
it's
all
Christmassy.
of the different things that they go through just to bring a little Christmas cheer into our lives. you know, and spread a little joy, a little razzle dazzle into the world. Yeah.
Yeah, they could have just sang loud for all to hear.
Indeed. Gosh. All right. Well, there's your episode. Anyway. Go build something holly jolly. The end. Brought to you by Tyler.